Welcome back, YouTube. It is so nice to see you. It has been such a long time since I've checked in with you. It's been a few months. I will say that I definitely grossly underestimated the amount of time it would take me to be the best teacher I can be for not one, not two, but 3 AP chemistry classes. This is the first time I've had 3 AP chemistry classes, and between the prep, the lab prep, the grading, it just was a complete time suck. And obviously, one of my goals is to help you and offer the best tips and tricks to being the best chemistry teacher that you can be. But I really needed to refill my cup because I was spending so much time preparing for my classes that I really just didn't have enough time to be offering the best advice and, to spend time video editing. So I hope you understand. We're finally now in review time, so I'm done teaching all brand new content with AP Chemistry, and I'm very excited to finally start being able to post more. I hope you've had a wonderful year so far, and as always, I do want to offer some advice today. So one of the things that I am doing that has really helped my students to feel prepared is I've been doing a lot of Throwback Thursdays. And you may say, what's Throwback Thursday? Well, you know me, I like themes. I always put themes on my agendas. So Throwback Thursday is exactly what it sounds like. We're basically taking content that they've learned a long time ago and we're pulling it back front and center to make sure that they can review. This takes about 10 minutes on every Thursday. I do this both with my honors students and I also do this with my AP students. For my honors kids, it's more of a half sheet like this, where the students are just answering questions. Today is Thursday, so this is my throwback for today, where we'll be looking at how electrons create light. We'll be looking at electron configurations and noble gas abbreviations. So that's for my honors kids today. My AP students are deep into review right now as it is, but before, when we were not into review and we were still kind of going through Unit 9 in electrochemistry, I was making this video library of AP Chemistry throwbacks. So I would still give my students a half sheet, do now, but a lot of these problems, they take a lot of time to go over. And so because I only wanted to spend about 10 minutes, instead what I would do is the students would work on it for about 10 minutes. I'd flash up the answer key to the question. And then if the students are still struggling with it, I created a video library. It's so simple to create a video library. All I do is I create a YouTube video of me going through the problem. I use my document camera. And then what I do is I take that video and I upload it to YouTube and post it on a Google slide. And so the students have access to this AP Throwback video library of all these different questions that I'm working out. And of course, the best thing about video content is my students can constantly go back to it. They can kind of take it through their own pace. They can rewind. And so that has really helped my students to kind of work through their own issues with the content. And another thing that I do too to make it more applicable to the students is I always go back through my data. So I look at all my tests, for example, and I look at the averages. And if I see that the average is really low for a particular content or skill, then what I'll do is I'll create a do now for that. So typically one of the things that my students struggle with is calorimetry, specifically, Q equals MC delta T, looking at, the sign changes and calculating the energy per mole of reaction. So this could be really tough for kids. So I wanted to make sure that I hit that concept or skill. And that was based off of what I saw in my Genesis gradebook. Now, if you purchased any of my task card reviews, task cards are exceptional for reviewing. So one of the things that you can do is literally just go back through your old task cards, grab some of those cards, put them outside of your classroom, have your students go up and they can work these problems on a separate sheet of paper, and you can come back and you can regroup. You could even have your students working on a whiteboard if you want. That way you can actually see what they're doing. But just spending the time, dedicate 10 minutes every Thursday, has allowed my students to feel far more comfortable in being able to be successful on any major assessment, whether it be the AP Chemistry exam or the final exam that my honors chemistry students will have in June. So my question to you is, what do you do to review? What strategies are helpful for you? What are helpful for your students? What do you get the most compliments on? I'd love to know what it is. If you started reviewing, have you started reviewing? Leave a comment down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I've missed you so much, and I'll definitely see you guys next week.